a big thank you for joining us. And before we get to on the pitch, the last time we spoke, I think it was a couple of years ago on Championship Weekly, and we were talking about the funding success for the club in getting a new indoor training hall. And in the past couple of months, that training hall has been opened. And how's it going, the new facilities?
Firstly, thanks for asking me for a chat. That's appreciated and you're always welcome. It's good to talk to other Rugby League fans and people who love our great game. The training barn's been a fantastic success in the opening 2.5 months. Anyone who's on any social media would see some videos of really small juniors from under 60s, which we've now got with, 4 of our ex-players taking them right the way up to seniors, doing Saturday morning sessions on fitness, etc. As well as that's just an asset for the community. There's, Cleader Cricket Club who's in our village. There's a local over 35s playing in there. There's some ladies doing aerobics, etc. in there. So it really has been a fantastic success so far.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about how, it'll weatherproof the club and make sure, training can happen whatever the weather. And, the last couple of months has shown it's been a worthwhile investment, to say the least, for the kids especially.
It has. We haven't missed a single session and, we're not blessed with, we are a rural community, so we're not blessed with AstroTurfs and anything like this facility. So it's an absolute godsend, We don't want to lose anyone to the sport, male or female. Ability, age, whatever it is, they can train now in a warm environment. It's, their talent will come through and that enjoyment. We won't lose the smaller kids or the smaller girls. Everyone can enjoy it and see that Rugby League is a sport for them, hopefully, as well as other sports that I've touched on that are using the facility.
Let's talk about on the pitch because the NCL Premier Division is back this weekend. How are preparations going ahead of the big season kickoff?
They've gone okay. They've gone really well. We're a kind of, as I've touched on there, rural community, so we don't have an influx of different players other than our own youth players who have come through and stepped up to open age. So the squad will be much the same as the last couple of campaigns. Obviously, we've lost Curtis Tier to work it in town, and that was fantastic for us as well at Wath Brow. We know where we stand in the hierarchy of the game, and we always encourage people to play at the highest level possible. He's made a really positive start to his career at Workington in the previous year, obviously losing Carl to Whitehaven, who's now Whitehaven's captain. We've other players out there, as of every community club. So we're a fairly youthful side with a bit of a mix. We have got some experience, but our youngsters will come through, and our goal's always just to be competitive. We've got such a small catchment area, and I know we all say it, and other coaches will go, they say that every blooming year, Wath Brow, but it really is for us just being competitive. It is a really tough division with some fantastic clubs in it, really well governed, and we're looking forward to the challenge. And we'll do our utmost every Saturday to try and win games, be it at home or on the road. But, just to be competitive and to be challenging, we'll see where that gets us. And some great clubs in there, great friends made over the past, God knows how long, 20-odd years.
And you mentioned some of those players who've made that step up. They're not just joining, the semi-professional Cumbrian sides, but they're joining championship clubs now, aren't they? I mean, that's how the game's really got a spring in its step in Cumbria at the moment, it feels like.
It has, but, the whole of Cumbria is, we are geographically misplaced. We all are really proud of where we come from, as are Lancastrians and Yorkshiremen and everyone from all over. But being up here, we haven't got the M62 links, etc. We haven't got, the catchment areas. So, but we do produce sportsmen and women, particularly rugby league. I don't know whether it is with mining communities or, it's very, very similar in Lancashire and Yorkshire. We've obviously got James at Leeds, Rhinos, and we've had a smattering, and obviously, Kyle from Ensingham, who's real longevity in the game at Super League, and we've had others go ourselves as a Barrett Island, with Singo and people like that, Morgan Knowles. So we do produce some fantastic, talented rugby league lads and ladies. We've had a couple from our own club play Super League for Wigan. So yeah, it is a hotbed, and that's just Wath Brow. I'm obviously biased, but that's the whole of Cumbria for me.
And with regards to Wath Brow and you know, this season coming up, you know, we have to go back a couple of years, well, actually 3 years now, amazingly, since we had you know, the North linking up like this for the NCL in a proper divisional competition. You were topping that table at the end of 2019, weren't you? You got to the grand final of the regional competition we had last year. So, what are your hopes for this season and the potential of the squad?
We touched on it just a bit before, to be competitive, because, you know, the bounce of a ball, you know, a ref's call, a misplaced pass or a knock-on can be the difference in the NCL Prem. You can win a game or lose a game by a hair's breadth, and there's not a lot between a lot of the clubs. And that's the fantastic challenge that it is. The clubs at the bottom have probably missed out by 4 to 6 points in 3 or 4 games, whereas the clubs at mid-table or pushing up towards the playoffs and near the top have fell the other side of that coin. So we know how tight it is. Our aspirations are always to be competitive, try and make home real tough for opposition. You know, welcome them, but only for pre-match and post-match. You know what I mean? As is every club in the NCL. I can honestly say, you go to clubs and yeah, the real tough encounters, the real battles, but we're all in the same boat. We're community clubs trying to do what's best for our own club and our own community. And after it, we have a couple of beers. We stay quite a while, Wath Brow, and we invite everyone to stay as long as they want. I mean, yeah, if we're competitive and do the things that we practice and do the things that we're good at, we'll be okay. You know, we might, as I've touched on there, we might be somewhere near the bottom. We might be somewhere near the top, depending on, you know, on any given day, just claiming them 2 points and building momentum. And it's, you know, not having injuries because we haven't got a really deep squad. We've got lots of players, but, you know, some are really young and inexperienced, not ready for that NCL environment. But we nurse them through. And one thing about us is, as is every club, but we're real proud to play for the community we're from. Real proud.
You mentioned how competitive you know, it is in the league. I think it was, how many points were separating the top 4 the last time we all got together? For
as long as I can go back to, you know, I can remember going to Leigh Miners on the last day of the season once, and any one of 4 teams could win the league. It's you know, and the same, we fell foul of needing a few wins at the end just to maintain our status. And, you know, there's some fantastic clubs. You look at what Castlock Lane, our opponents on Saturday, have done. They went to Oldham. They didn't, you know, at home you would think they've probably started training a bit later at Oldham. And I'm not disrespecting Oldham at all, a fantastic rugby league club, but and they're semi-professional and all go to work, so I get that. I get what, you know, Brendan Sheridan said, and he was bang on, but real competitive to go there, to push a really well-coached side in Matt Callan's Rochdale. You know, we've seen what Hunslet Club Park side have done to London Scholars, and push a really, really good championship, you know, solid, consistent side over the years in Sheffield. These clubs are really good clubs. I haven't even mentioned Siddle, West Hull, Fatto Heath, who were last year's champions, beat us in final. You know, and there's other clubs coming up with aspirations as well. You know, the Miners, they're really, really good clubs. You know, Thornhill, everyone. I can't think of one where you think, oh, you know, we maybe chalk 2 up there. You just don't. Our neighbours at Egremont, you know, it's a difficult comp, but we know that, and they know that.
A quick plug for the Lock Lane game this weekend. Hoping for a decent crowd, I'd imagine, for this league season kickoff.
Oh yeah, 2:30. We've certainly missed it. We've missed the whole game. We've missed other people. You know, we've missed the sport that we love, and it was curtailed last year. And the NCL done a great job doing that, and well done to all the clubs that's got through it. I hope everyone's come through it as unscathed. But there'll be a big crowd at Wath Brow. There always is. There'll be 500 plus. You know, and that's not bad for an amateur side in the first game. So yeah, all the best to every club though. Not apart from in the playoffs, obviously for 80 minutes, but all the very best for the season and injury free. I just want everyone to get through it and it to be competitive and play in the right spirits, which will be tough and fair.